Golden State Warriors have an urgent announcement. As you all know, the Warriors have been back to their winning ways, and they are currently one win away from getting back to the top 5 of the Western Conference. But some good news has just hit the market because Andrew Wiggins is set to return from his injury very soon. So in today's video, we're going to be going through 3 key things that Andrew Wiggins must do in his return to the Golden State Warriors roster in order to help this team continue to win their ways and get back to the number 1 spot in the Western Conference. So make sure to like this video, and if you want more Golden State Warriors content like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hitting that red button down below. But let's get into the first key move, and the first thing that Andrew Wiggins must do is to continue to score at will. I think Andrew Wiggins has turned out to be a great scorer, and we definitely see that in his stats so far this year. He's currently averaging 19.1 points per game while shooting 45% from the 3 and also an effective field goal percentage of 61%. Guys, this is honestly insane. Andrew Wiggins is scoring at a very significant rate, and it's great to see that he has become a scorer, especially due to the fact him coming into the league, he wasn't considered a 3-point shooter or anything of that sort. But lately we have been seeing him shoot very high rate of 3-point attempts and also making them at a very high rate as well. If we look at his last game against the Houston Rockets before his injury, he actually shot a whopping 80% from the 3-point line while taking 10 threes. Yes guys, you heard that right, he shot 80%. That is honestly insane, and he dropped 36 points in that game. And I definitely think that if Andrew Wiggins continues to come back and be able to score at will, it is honestly going to be a recipe for success for the Golden State Warriors. Now on top of this, we have seen Klay Thompson being able to kind of increase his scoring ability due to the fact that Andrew Wiggins isn't on the floor. And we have seen Klay Thompson score at will as well, where he's been averaging, a past 25 points in the past games that Andrew Wiggins hasn't been playing. However, I do think either one of them being able to score at will is possible. So whether it's Klay, whether it's Andrew Wiggins, I think both need to provide scoring opportunities in order to, kind of help out Steph Curry in the offensive side of things. And I think it would be honestly fantastic to have someone like Wiggins back, even though we may see a drop in Klay Thompson's average. Now, it may not be good for Klay Thompson as an individual standpoint, but when it comes to them having Andrew Wiggins, Klay Thompson, and Steph Curry all being offensive threat, it's going to be very hard for any type of NBA team to guard them at will. Now, like I mentioned before, Andrew Wiggins wasn't always a pure scorer. However, over the past couple of seasons, especially playing with such great shooters such as Steph, Klay, and Jordan Poole, he has definitely developed a great 3-point shot that makes him so dangerous due to the fact that he has so much athletic ability to finish in the paint. So when defenders start to sag off in order to guard the inside, Andrew Wiggins nowadays is able to hit that 3 very consistently and able to shoot at a very high rate. So I think that's honestly fantastic, and to have Andrew Wiggins back in the starting lineup will be great for this team, and it will continue to help them get back to their winning ways and get back to the number 1 of the Western Conference. So the second key thing that Andrew Wiggins must do to have Golden State Warriors continue their winning ways is to play great defense. And this is honestly great because, as you all know, the Warriors are a strong defensive team, but compared to last season, they have seen a huge dip, maybe due to the fact that the second unit has seen a loss in players such as Gary Payton II, Otto Porter Jr., and also JTA. So this was honestly a huge hit because last season their defensive rating was actually number 1 in the league, but if we look at this season, they are currently ranked 14th out of all 30 teams in the NBA. When they were losing a couple of games at the start of this season, they actually got their defensive rating down all the way to 25, so they have brought it back up. However, they got high to as 10 in the defensive rating category, and that's where we started to see them go back to their winning ways. But as soon as Andrew Wiggins has been injured, they have seen a little bit of a dip in their defensive rating, and that's because Andrew Wiggins is probably the best defender in this Golden State Warriors team when it comes to guarding guards. Yes, you have Draymond Green, who's a great defender for guarding bigs, but when it comes to in today's NBA, we see a lot of guards being some of the main players in some teams. Luka Doncic, Ja Morant, the list really does go on and on. And you need someone who's able to guard, someone of that caliber who has the athleticism to stay in front, and Andrew Wiggins was definitely that guy. Klay Thompson is a great defender, don't get me wrong, but after his injury and obviously to his age, he is getting a little bit older, so his athleticism isn't always there. So Andrew Wiggins has been that replacement, and he's done a fantastic job at that. To have Andrew Wiggins back in the starting lineup doesn't only help the offense, but it helps the defense as well, because Andrew Wiggins is probably the great on-ball defender for this team, and it is very evident that it may not show up in the stat sheet, but when he's locking up players such as Jason Tatum, Luka Doncic, Ja Morant, like I said, the list can really go on. You can definitely see from their stats how much Andrew Wiggins had an effect on them. Andrew Wiggins is not only standing at 6'7" and weighs 197 pounds, but he moves like a guard, has a great wingspan on him, and his defensive IQ is definitely there. He knows when to help, he knows when to sag, get up on them, and I think that's honestly such an amazing part of Andrew Wiggins' game that it's made him a two-way player very, very quick, especially for this Warriors team. In all honesty, to have him back would be a fantastic thing for their defensive rating as a team, and I think Andrew Wiggins has definitely provided a lot, not only in that core category, but also in rebounding as well. For a small forward, he actually is averaging 5.1 rebounds, which is great to see. And then if we also look at his steal numbers of 1.7 is fantastic as well. It's actually his highest he actually has ever had in his past career. So to see him averaging the most he has ever averaged in steals and great rebounding ability is fantastic from this point of view. Now, his blocking category isn't the highest, but he's still averaging 1 block a game, which is really good for a small forward slash guard. And I think Andrew Wiggins can only get better, especially when he's coming back from this injury. The third key thing that Andrew Wiggins must do, and this was actually suggested by Steve Kerr himself, but Andrew Wiggins may start playing more with the second unit. As you all know, the Golden State Warriors started off this season to a rocky start, and they were losing and got all the way to the second last in the Western Conference, and it was tough to see that. There may be a lot of issues, maybe too much offense, maybe not enough defense. However, when it came down to it, it did seem that the second unit wasn't as strong as it was last season. Of course, losing JTA, losing Gary Payton II and Otto Porter was definitely a hit, but in our replacements of Dante DiVincenzo, Jermichael Green, all these great players, it didn't seem to live up to the hype. However, where they saw a huge improvement is adding Draymond Green to that second unit to add more firepower, not only on defense but on offense as well, and to help Jordan Poole out in those things. So it honestly did wonders because Golden State Warriors were back to their winning ways as soon as that made that adjustment. However, Steve Kerr in a recent interview said that he may look to get Andrew Wiggins to be a part of more of that second unit as well, to even give them more firepower. So I think this would be great for the team because Andrew Wiggins playing with that second unit more would give them more defense on top of Draymond Green and having Jordan Poole provide the offense. Where I think this also plays a very beneficial role is that it also gives Klay Thompson, if he does play more of that starting position, more opportunities to score and continue to average what he's averaging ever since Andrew Wiggins left. So I think it would be a win-win. Andrew Wiggins would be playing with the first unit, but he will definitely get a lot more minutes playing with that second unit, and then you run Klay to be that second right-hand man to Steph Curry for that first unit as the game continues to go on. So I think this would be a recipe for success, and I can't wait to see this in action. Steve Kerr has suggested it, and they are looking to do it as soon as Andrew Wiggins gets back. Thankfully, it isn't a major injury, so Andrew Wiggins should be back to where he was before, no problem, maybe after 1 or 2 games. So thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you soon. Peace.